Hey, what's up, guys? Coming at ya. It's your boy, Shiny D. And what I want to touch on this week is the most powerful concept, tool, and technique that you can use to break old habits or create awesome new ones. And this technique is something I picked up from Tony Robbins a little while ago. If you guys don't know who Tony Robbins is, you are living under a rock and need to get your shit together, seriously. But if you don't know him, check him out. He's freaking amazing. A little fanatical, but we don't have to rant about that right now. What was I saying? All right. Emotional leverage. So I was talking to a friend the other day over a delicious cup of tea at breakfast, I believe it was. And we were talking about why certain people, or why when we set a goal for something or we want to do something, we were talking about morning practices. I was talking about how much I love my morning practice, and I have this elaborate list of things I do to get my mind fired and my body going and getting state and get stoked up for my morning, or stoked up for my day through my morning. And she was saying that she was having trouble doing that. And usually, emotional leverage is caused by two primary things in life, and that's pain or pleasure. So oftentimes the pain of not doing something will overwhelm the pleasure of doing it. I've associated a great deal of pleasure with doing my morning practice because I wake up and I do it, and it makes my day feel great. So I have this immense amount of pleasure that's associated with that. So that's a neural association. But emotional leverage is something, it's a really cool technique. Say your goal is that you want to do morning practices for the next 7 days this week, or your goal is to, smoke only 3 packs of cigarettes a day instead of 4 packs, whatever it is. I'm not, smoke as many packs as you want. It's incremental steps. We're working towards it. I'm not on trial here. Don't judge me. Whatever your goal is, we can use this concept called emotional leverage to bring you further and take you closer to your goal. So one of the techniques I've used with emotional leverage in the past is a money technique. So I made a 21-day, very rehab style, 21-day a goal list. Every day I'm going to do this for 21 days. I made a comprehensive list. And then to create some sort of sense of leverage, because you see, for some people, they have enough leverage from their own self-discipline to say to themselves, you're going to do this. They have already enough emotional leverage from their self-discipline that they're going to do it simply because they said they were going to. So they have the leverage of not letting themselves down. For some of us, like myself, that's not enough. Whatever, I'll lie to myself, I'll trick myself, whatever, right? I haven't cultivated that to the degree of some other people, but it's a work in progress. So this time in particular, I used money as emotional leverage. So I wrote this list, had a dear friend of mine, a dear bumbleclot friend of mine, go over the list, and we made it like a contract. So I said to him, hey dude, I promise I will be totally honest with you about doing all these things every day. I have to do all these things every day, or you can keep this lump sum of money I'm giving you. I don't know how much it was. It was a couple $100. For me, it was like a lot at the time, right? So it's really funny that because I didn't have a lot of money, a small amount of money that I knew I was going to lose now if I didn't accomplish the goal, I knew I would lose that money. So all of a sudden I had more emotion tied to it. There was like, oh, if I don't do this every day, then I won't get my $33, no, it was more than that. It was more than that. I won't get whatever this is back, right? So all of a sudden, because I had more emotional leverage to it, it was amazing how all the excuses melted away. How all of a sudden in my day, when there wasn't enough time before, I seemingly, out of a magical hat, pulled all this extra time and the excuses melted away. So you can do that in a lot of different ways. Say you're setting a goal, whatever your goal is, insert X goal. You can have a friend, like an accountability buddy, sometimes simply by reaching out to another friend and having them help you hold accountable. That's enough, because you create leverage. Oftentimes we don't want to let other people down. It's really interesting. Like, we're more afraid to let other people down that we care about than our own selves for some reason. So sometimes if you have someone you really care about, someone you look up to, or someone you respect, and have them help you hold accountable, you say, hey, I'm going to do this for 7 days. I'm going to check in with you. Sometimes the feeling of not wanting to let them down, creates enough emotional leverage to, again, help you up. Another thing you can do is if you have another friend that wants to do it with you, you can make a date. Like, hey, they pick their goal, you pick your goal, and then you make an agreement, a handshake, Scout's honor. If we don't accomplish this goal, we have to eat like rat feces, whatever your cup of tea is. I'm not judging you. So you can make some sort of dare like that, and then all of a sudden you'll watch all the excuses, everything melt away effortlessly, and those 5 minutes that were so hard to do all the time because you're so busy and blah blah blah, all of a sudden that time is so much there because, you know, doing that little thing, doing that little task, going for your jog in the morning just doesn't outweigh all of a sudden the thought of potential rat feces in your mouth or whatever your leverage is. So those are a few examples. Another one is, this is cool, I'm going to tie this in right now. So a bad habit that I've been doing recently, I've been taking a lot of stimulants, surprise, lots of caffeine, lots of pre-workout, and I'm noticing I'm starting to get a little more dependent on it. It's making me edgy, it's making me talk really fast when I'm recording my videos. So I'm actually going to use this video, get 2 birds stoned, I'm going to use this video as emotional leverage. So I'm going to let you guys know that for the next week, I'm going to cut all of it down. I'm going to cut the pre-workout. I'm going to cut my caffeine at least in half, if not more, for the next week. Now, by telling you guys this, any one of you could check in with me later down the week. And you could go, how's that going? So now all of a sudden, I not only have the pressure of letting myself down, but I have the pressure of letting all of you guys down. And for me, I value my integrity, so that's not something I want to do. So by reaching out to people, by creating, I did the same thing with a status when I did this Vipassana, a 10-day meditation. I put my status, I'm doing this Vipassana meditation. You know, I wanted people to know. And then I remember when I was in it, I was like, there's no fucking way I'm not accomplishing this, because then everybody will know, including myself, how much of a failure I was in this, right? So that's another awesome way to create emotional leverage, especially if you have a high sense of integrity, if you care about your image, or if you're a little slimy ego, schmigo. If you have a very sensitive ego, that's another great tool to use. So emotional leverage, guys. What's something you've been wanting to change? You know, a bad habit, a goal. What's a new goal you want to set? You know, maybe you're shitty and you want to be good. Maybe you're awesome and you want to be more awesome. Whatever it is, you know, pick one thing with me this week and we can do it together. Post a status or message me back saying what the new awesome thing you want to accomplish is, or what the shitty new thing that you want to scale back or get rid of is. And we will emotionally leverage each other by pointing out how awesome we are, how much a piece of shit we are if we fail. Just kidding, all love, all love. So we can create that emotional leverage together. So the concept of emotional leverage, it's how the most powerful habits are created, and it's how you can get out of giant ruts in life. It's a very, very powerful technique, so use it wisely in the right hands. So let's create some freaking emotional leverage together. Let's get it done. Let's scale back my caffeine, so I'm getting edgy, man. Somebody like nudges me in the bus and I'm like, ah! So I know it's like my nervous system's a little tweaked up. So it's nothing to judge, but it's just something to be aware of. And then I'm glad, thank you guys for being this awesome audience, like the 3 people and my mom that are watching or whatever. Thanks for being this awesome audience and allowing me to create some emotional leverage in my life that can create a better version, a less shitty version of myself. So let's be less shitty together. Star Wipe out.